angel says the world had grown quiet in the way it sometimes does after a long day, when the air feels heavy with unspoken thoughts, and the stars seem to hold secrets they're not quite ready to share. Ella sat curled up on the porch swing, a blanket draped over her shoulders, sipping lukewarm tea. The moonlight danced across her garden, and the wind hummed a lullaby through the trees. It had been one of those weeks, the kind that left you drained, where everything good felt just out of reach, and every shadow seemed to stretch longer than it should. Work had been relentless, her friends distant, and her own thoughts restless. She felt forgotten by the world, invisible in the noise of everyday life. She closed her eyes and whispered a prayer not out loud. Not the kind you send to the heavens with folded hands, but a quiet one. A wish that someone, somewhere, might hear her. That someone might care enough to see her pain, to surprise her with love the way people in books or movies get surprised. And that's when she felt it. A breeze, warm and unfamiliar, brushed her cheek like a kiss. The kind of wind that didn't belong to the weather forecast, but to something else, something otherworldly. She opened her eyes, and there she was, an angel. Not the kind with a trumpet and golden robes. She looked human, barefoot, soft eyes, hair that shimmered in the moonlight like it had been kissed by galaxies. Her wings weren't visible, but they were felt present in the way her presence shifted the air, made everything still and glowing. Ella didn't move. She didn't scream or run. She simply looked, wide-eyed, heart still. The angel smiled gently, like she had known Ella forever. "You've been waiting for something," she said, voice like chimes carried on wind. "But what you're hoping for won't come the way you expect it." Ella blinked, unsure if she should speak. "Then, what should I do?" The angel stepped closer. "Trust, just for a little longer, because someone who loves you very much will show you a surprise you never expected." And just like that, the angel was gone. The garden returned to normal. The air cooled, the wind quieted, and the stars resumed their watch. Ella sat there, stunned, not entirely sure whether she had imagined it all. Maybe it was a dream. Maybe her exhaustion had taken over. But something inside her shifted that night, a soft turning of hope, like the first page of a new chapter. Days passed. Nothing dramatic happened. No grand gestures, no sweep you off your feet moments. But slowly, the world started to sparkle again. She began noticing little things: her favorite song playing randomly at the store, a co-worker leaving her a kind note, the barista remembering her coffee order without her saying a word. It wasn't until a week later, on a rainy afternoon, that the real surprise came. She had just come home, soaked and grumpy from forgetting her umbrella. As she opened her door, she noticed a small package sitting on her doormat. No label, no sender, just a white box with a pale ribbon tied carefully around it. Inside, there was a single photograph, a picture of her and her grandfather from when she was 5, sitting on the swings in the old park. She hadn't seen that photo in years. It had been lost in a house fire over a decade ago. Beneath it, a note written in shaky handwriting. "I always said I'd find a way to remind you how much you're loved. I found this tucked away in an old drawer. You've always been my sunshine." Grandpa Tess fell before she even finished reading it. Her grandfather had passed 3 years earlier. There was no way this photo should exist. And yet, here it was untouched, real, filled with a memory so warm she could feel it in her chest. And then she remembered the angel's words. Someone who loves you very much will show you a surprise you never expected. It hadn't been a new romance or a dramatic rescue. It had been an impossible reminder of love that hadn't faded even after death. A sign that she wasn't alone, that someone, whether from the other side or through the quiet hands of someone still here, had made sure she felt seen. That moment rewrote something in her. It reminded her that love isn't always fireworks and declarations. Sometimes it's a whisper through time. Sometimes it's a photo, a note, a memory returned to you just when you needed it most. After that, Ella began to listen more, to watch for the hidden love all around her. The way her neighbor always left the porch light on until she got home. The way her friend checked in on her even when she said she was fine. The way the sky seemed to know when to clear just long enough for her to see the stars again. And every now and then, when things got hard again and they did, she would close her eyes and remember the angel's visit. She would hear that gentle voice saying, "Someone who loves you very much will show you a surprise you never expected." She came to believe those words weren't just for one moment or one miracle. They were a promise, a truth about life and love, that the people who care for you often express it in the quietest ways, that love doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it waits in the shadows, tucked between the folds of a normal day, ready to catch you off guard in the most beautiful way. Sometimes love is an angel's message, and sometimes it's the miracle that follows.